Good morning, student. Today's chapter, that is chapter number 2, that is microorganisms, friends and foe. Already have discussed some topic regarding this chapter. Today's topic will discuss making of curd. Making of curd already discussed, making of curd and bread. So already we have discussed about regarding how we prepare a curd. Curd is prepared by some bacteria called lactobacillus. Due to the presence of lactobacillus, we are able to make a curd. So now today we will discuss making of bread. Making of bread. How this bread is prepared? This bread is prepared due to the presence of a microorganisms called yeast. We use this yeast. Yeast is also part of microorganism. This yeast is used for making bread. Curd is prepared with the help of a bacteria called lactobacillus. So today we will study making of bread, this yeast. For example, you will take an activity. You take half kg of atta or maida. Atta or maida you take half kg, and what happens? You add some water and you just knead it. You knead it. Knead nicely. After that you make a soft dough. Prepare a soft dough. You make a soft dough. After kneading it properly, you make a soft dough. This soft dough you keep for in a container. You keep a container for at least 2 to 3 hours. You keep for 2 to 3 hours. After 3 to 4 5 hours, this will expand. It will if you observe, it will expand. You will observe that the volume is increased. After some time it is increase in volume. Increase in volume. Why is it so? How will this does the soft dough is increases volume? Its size is increased. Size is increased. Size is increased. Size is increased. Why? Because we had yeast on it. We also added yeast on this soft dough. After adding, what happened? This yeast will reproduce rapidly and during respiration. They reproduce rapidly, and they reproduce during respiration. They produce what? Yeast produce. They produce CO2, carbon dioxide. This carbon dioxide is produced inside this dough, while this yeast are reproducing or multiplying. They respire. They require some respiration process to multiply. So they respire. During respiration, they produce a CO2 gas. That this is gas. What happens? This gas will fill in that gaps. That gaps which will expand. It will increase. This dough will increase in size, increase in volume due to the presence of CO2 gas inside that dough. This CO2 gas will present inside the dough, therefore it increases its size. Therefore, these yeast are the basis substance which is used in the baking industry for making cakes, bread and pastries. So yeast is used. So various like bacteria also used in making idlis. They use this yeast and bacteria also helpful in making idlis, all this. So they carry out the process called fermentation. By fermentation process, these are prepared. Here it's not required fermentation. Yeast only produces carbon dioxide which will expand the increase in the size of soft dough. So yeast also used in making bread, cakes, pastries. What is bacteria used in making curd. Also there are microorganisms or bacteria are also used for various purposes. We'll study. Next we'll study commercial use of microorganism. Commercial use of microorganism. Commercial commercial use of microorganism. In commercial use of microorganism, you heard about this word commercial in the sense for business. They use certain microorganisms to for business purpose, for selling purpose, for their own way of life, for earning money. For business purpose, they use some certain microorganisms. So in that case, some bacteria they use. So in the commercial use of microorganisms, this microorganism used for producing a large scale of product, for producing large scale. For large scale they use, so this commercial use of these microorganisms are used to produce a large scale of product like alcohol. For large scale production they use certain microorganisms. Large scale production of alcohol, wine, oil, and acetic acid. Or we can say vinegar. Got it now? They use. So these microorganisms are used for production of large scale production of alcohol, wine, and acetic acid. Got it now? So therefore they is also here what they are using. Which microorganism is using? They are using yeast. What? Yes. Yeast is used for production of large scale of alcohol, wine. Got it now? So they use yeast in large production of alcohol and wine. So they use, so for this purpose yeast is grown on. For this purpose they require more number of yeast, large quantity of yeast. They require more for producing large scale production. They require large number of yeast. For this purpose they use yeast are grown on a natural sugar. These yeast are grown on natural sugar. Natural sugar, where will you find? These natural sugars are found in food grains. Natural sugar found in food grains. Therefore, these yeast are grown on a natural sugar in grains such as wheat. We can write rice. We can write barley, or we can write crushed fruit juice. Alright now. So this, in order to produce a large scale of alcohol, these yeast are also used for. We require large number of yeast which are grown on natural sugar in food grains, that is wheat, rice, barley, and crushed fruit juice. What happened? In order to produce this alcohol, how this alcohol is manufactured, how this alcohol is prepared? This alcohol is prepared by the process called fermentation. What is that called? Process called fermentation. This is the process which required to produce a alcohol, wine, or acetic acid. This process required yeast is present. This yeast will carry out this process. That is term called fermentation. What is the term called fermentation? For example, you take a beaker. What the quantity of beaker? This quantity is 500 milliliter. The quantity of this beaker is 500 milliliter. Fill this beaker of 3/4 means this is, fill this beaker 3/4 with water. H2O with water. After filling with water, you add 2 to 3 add add 2 to 3 add 2 to 3 teaspoon of sugar. What you add? Then you are adding 2 to 3 teaspoon of sugar in it, in this beaker. 3/4 with water and 2 to 3 teaspoon of sugar. After that, you half spoon add half spoon with yeast powder in this solution. In sugar solution, you add half spoon with yeast powder in this solution. After some hours, you keep this beaker in a warm place for 4 to 5 hours. You keep in a warm place for 4 to 5 hours. What do you see there? What smell you get from there? It smell like alcohol. It will smell like alcohol. So here the sugar, what is present in this beaker, the sugar is converted into alcohol. Who is converting? Yeast is responsible. Who is converting? Yeast. Yeast is converting sugar into alcohol. So the process of conversion of sugar into alcohol is known as fermentation. What is called? Fermentation. The process of converting sugar into alcohol. The process of converting sugar into alcohol is known as fermentation. Who is converting? Yeast is the important role playing for converting sugar into alcohol. This is how the alcohol is prepared in a large scale. In industries, in factories, they use large number of yeast in order to convert the sugar into alcohol. So this is how the commercial use of microorganisms. Yeast are used for commercial purpose, for producing or for manufacturing alcohol, for manufacturing wine or acetic acid. Got it now? So next we'll study regarding medicinal use of microorganisms. Medicinal use of microorganisms. Medicinal use of microorganisms. Medicinal use of, whenever you fall ill, doctor may give you some medicine, some antibiotic, such as in the form of tablet or capsule or injection. So they give some antibiotic. What are these antibiotics? The source of this medicine is microorganisms. The source of this medicine is microorganism. So in this medicine, there are certain microorganisms through which they manufacture some medicine. So this medicine that is called penicillin. What medicine that is? Penicillin. This antibiotic called penicillin. Penicillin. What is called? Penicillin. Penicillin. What is called? This medicine, penicillin. So this medicine kills or stop the growth of disease causing microorganisms. I already told that there are some microorganisms which cause diseases. They are known as also harmful microorganisms. So some certain microorganisms which are killed or stop the growth of disease causing microorganisms, those medicines, these are the medicine which are used to kill or stop the growth of disease causing microorganisms. Those medicine are called what? Medicine are called what? Antibiotic. Antibiotic. What is antibiotic? Antibiotic are the medicine which kills or stop the growth of disease-causing microorganisms are called antibiotics. In nowadays, you have seen commonly various types of antibiotics. Doctors use different types of antibiotics. Some of our antibiotics commonly there are three types. What are they? Example, antibiotics, that is streptomycin, streptomycin, streptomycin. Then next, erythromycin, erythromycin, and next one is tetracycline, tetracycline. These are the commonly used antibiotics nowadays. So these are the commonly known antibiotics which are made from fungi. Which are made from where? From where they are made? They are made from fungi and bacteria. Got it now? These are the commonly used antibiotics which are made from fungi and bacteria. What are the? Streptomycin. So this is T. Streptomycin, erythromycin, and these are called tetracycline. These are the commonly used antibiotics which are made from fungi and bacteria. So these antibiotics are manufactured by growing a specific microorganisms. In order to use for curing various types of diseases. So antibiotics are also even mixed with some feed of livestock and some poultry. They are mixed. These certain microorganisms are even mixed with feeds of livestock or poultry. Poultry means what? Farming of animals, we can say poultry. So these microorganisms even mixed with the feeds of livestock and poultry to check the microbial infection in animal. Microbial infection in animals. Got it now? So they mostly these microorganisms are also used to control many plant diseases. These are the medicinal use of microorganisms. So this penicillin was invented by who? Alexander Fleming. Invented this penicillin. Alexander Fleming in 1929. Alexander Fleming. In 1929. Alexander Fleming, while he was doing a culture of disease-causing microorganisms, he found some force of a little green plants, little molds, which are found in a culture plate. Where he found? In a culture plate, he found some spores of a little green molds which are grown on a culture plate. He observed that due to the presence of mold, prevented the growth of bacteria. In fact, it kills, due to the presence of mold, it also kills many microorganisms, that is bacteria. Therefore, he found that penicillin is a antibiotic which also prevent bacteria. Got it now? Which also prevent bacteria. But these antibiotics, you have to be careful in using in day-to-day life. So it is important to know, it is important to remember that antibiotics should be taken on the advice of a qualified doctors. Advice of a qualified doctor. Also you must know complete course prescribed by the doctors. Got it now? If you take this antibiotic unnecessarily when you don't need or wrong dose, this may cause problem in future. Got it now? It may cause problem in future. So if you take unnecessarily, whatever beneficial bacteria or microorganisms present in our body, these antibiotics may destroy it. So when you need in future, you will have difficulty. Got it now? So therefore, you are required to inform the doctors, or whatever the doctor advice, you have to take frequently, cautiously. Okay, these are the important note for this antibiotics. Antibiotics are very dangerous, but remember one thing: these antibiotics only used for bacterial infection diseases such as cold, flu. It is not this antibiotics will not work because they are against this cold and flu. So disease because the cold and flu are caused by a disease microorganism called, that is virus. Virus are the main big microorganisms which are caused by cold and flu. What is that? So from this chapter we learn today commercial use of microorganism, medicinal use of microorganisms, and also making of bread. So next coming chapter will study regarding vaccine. What is that? So today already we have learned some topic we covered. So you at home you go through it once. If you have doubt, then just let me know. Got it now? Okay, all the best. Thank you.